Why is my man's bayonet sticking out of the side there? I think he thinks he's in the picture, but little does he know the Burning Sky update is taking centre stage. He's trying his best to get involved, but Darkflow has just said, nope. How's it all going, human to the world? It's your boy MajorMcDonalds, and you're watching the series where I give my opinions on the latest updates to the game of Enlisted. Obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know that the Burning Sky major update in June 2022 has been released. Fairly randomly, I should say, on a Thursday mid-afternoon, which did not even coincide with the season of the Battle Pass ending or anything as it normally does. But at least they released it ahead of schedule, which is a nice change. I've already reviewed many of these updates in more depth in previous videos as they came out in dev blogs over the last few weeks, so watch those videos if you're interested in those. But instead, today we'll mostly cover the other things that are part of this update, and as always, make a few jokes about them. Let's get into it. So as I said, we already covered the new rocket tanks, you know, the Calliope, I still don't know, man. Seriously, I just can't be bothered.
The mere mention of this name gets me mad.
Calliope.
And the cat? Nah, I still CBA, man. And the Panzerwerfer. Dude, that still makes me laugh with its literal translation. We also spoke about the weather and lighting improvements, and I can actually confirm that the lighting in the map Airfield has improved, so praise the Lord. And it also looks like the cool new clouds are set to off by default, so if you actually want to cloud watch during your games because your team are hopeless and you've given up, then you better set this to enabled. The mission editor, as I said in the other video, looks super promising, and it's hard to comment on it bar saying just the possibilities are endless until we start seeing some proper awesome player-made missions. So if you are creating a custom mission or mod, then please send it to me to test out. I can make a video on them for you and help grow awareness and hopefully interest in your custom mission. The new confrontation game mode sounds awesome as well, and I'm actually super glad with this mode that you can always attack in theory, as it's the most fun thing to do, even though theoretically you do actually have to defend, because as the best football managers say, the best defense is a good offense, or defense is superior to opulence. Wait, nah, actually that's from Civ 6, scratch that. Then we see the new missions in the game, which I'll be honest are actually pretty cool. The new maps spoke about in previous videos are here, such as La Perelle Village, La Perelle Village, I can't be bothered, seriously man, just screw it, and Railway Bridge, but also new game modes in different maps to help spice it up, and means you are actually very likely to get very different game modes on the same map or different maps entirely. So yeah, only positives really. Big happy. Much wow.
By all means enjoy it, but enjoy it by being f***ing disciplined here.
New weaponry is also added in this update. The M9 bazooka and the RPZB-43 Offenrohr, which has too complex of a name for me to say anymore, especially if you use its true name. So I'm just going to call it the Panzerschreck, because well, it sounds cooler. Plus, this RPZ, you get the idea, was literally a precursor to the Panzerschreck, so, you know, simplicity. Point is that these two are going to be so cool and powerful in Normandy, so you're gonna love them. In Berlin, the new snipers are good, both are going to be very powerful, yet, looking at them, we should realise that the best players won't really be using them as traditional snipers, let's be real here. But the problem starts with the new Premium Squad assault rifles. I've already tested them out, and dear god, these things at first glance look overpowered as hell. Both have basically non-existent recoil, and that's even before you mount them. Plus, they get an engineer in their squads too. Yeah, they do both actually look awesome too, and the STG-45M has a surprisingly low fire rate to what I was expecting, but it's still very good that you get other great weapons for free in this campaign, like the FG-42-2 and PPSH, because otherwise there will be cries that these new premium squads will be pay to win. Fortunately for us, these premium squads are matched by free weapons, and the squads just look good to use, which is exactly what I've been crying out for premium squads to be like. Unique and interesting, but not overpowered compared to the free stuff you get. Perfect balance. Thank you, Darkflow.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
In Tunisia, we finally have a proper Tommy gun, as you see in all the movies, with a drum magazine. This is exactly what players want, so it's awesome to finally see it in the game. To be honest though, I don't really think about movies when I think about it. I think about the old game Battlefield Heroes with Tommy's super typewriter, and if you guys get this reference, then you really are proper cultured human beings. RIP Battlefield Heroes. For the Axis though, we just get another Beretta SMG with 40 rounds, something you already get at earlier levels, albeit with a slightly lower fire rate. I mean, it's a little pointless, but once again, Tunisia Axis mains will probably be on the forums claiming that they are being discriminated against, which to be honest, you know what, we'll just accept it. They kind of are. Stalingrad gets its first updates as well, with some of the default rifles getting anti-tank grenade launchers as the last levels, which, I mean, all I hope for is that they don't hurt infantry much and just hurt tanks, because let's be real, we don't need more ways for infantry to get exploded. That campaign also gets arguably the coolest looking premium squads in the game, the PPSH 42 Parkerized squad, and to be honest, when I first saw it I thought Parkerized meant former Facebook president Sean Parker had introduced the weapon to cocaine and parties. You'll understand this reference if you've seen The Social Network. And not gonna lie, the weapon looks genuinely like cocaine has had its way with it, so, you know. And the Axis get the all-new Suomi KP31 with another cool-looking squad, which is equally as awesome and powerful. Man, I can't lie, Darkflow has really put in some good work with these awesome new premium squads. I actually want to get them for once. They are unique and powerful, but not overly powerful. As I said before, good job Darkflow, it must be said. But remember when they said there would be no microtransactions in Stalingrad? Yeah, well, I do. And I don't know if they lied or just forgot that they said that, because premium squads are literally the definition of microtransactions. That's the thing with Darkflow. They do something good, but pretty much always there's some counterbalancing other thing that they do wrong. If they just improved their communication with the player base, that is really all that is needed to not do silly things like this again. Anyway.
I might smash into somebody just to make me feel better.
Now in Moscow we see new snipers too, and all these new snipers alongside this update coming out like 2 weeks early has really messed up my video covering the top 20 snipers, which I've already been editing this past week. I've got to do all the editing for it again, as now this order's completely changed, and I was almost finished, for God's sake man. But the SKT-40 squad looks interesting, especially with the new uniforms, but nothing as special as the other premium squads we've just spoken about, and it's basically just another SVT-40, but slightly more unique looking. Then for the Axis we get the stupid tablecloth men with a Gewehr 41 sniper, and I'll be honest, I hate the normal version of this weapon, so I'm not gonna like the sniper, especially with how creepy these guys look on the battlefield, dear God. But yeah, nothing particularly special in my opinion for Moscow's premium squads, not least because it's overshadowed by other new stuff in this update.
Boa semana pra você, meu amor.
As for other gear, we get the impact grenades, which as I mentioned in my other videos are going to be literally cancerous and render normal hand grenades completely useless. If they're going to persist with impact grenades, then they should really make normal hand grenades cost bronze orders now, and not silver orders, because at the moment they are literally the same price as the impact grenades, and I can see no reason, literally zilch, nada, why you'd pick standard grenades over them. Luckily these are only in Normandy so far, alongside the rocket tanks and all the new explosions, so if you want to avoid literal chaos and just panic in your Normandy matches, then fortunately you've got 4 other campaigns to play. Binoculars are finally here too. They're useless, but at least they only cost 1 bronze order. And before you tell me in the comments, no, you do not get 6 of them per 1 bronze order. It actually baited me into buying them, for God's sake man. Flasks, even more useless, are also here, but thank the Lord they did not make them cost 2 silver orders as KO Fox initially intended. If they did make them cost silver orders, I'd just be lost for words. I don't even know what I'd say here anymore. Shovels made it into all campaigns too, so you can pick some of those up, and they finally have been buffed in how efficient they are and in combat, so shovel kills are actually going to be the norm nowadays. Dude, it's actually so disrespectful to kill someone with a shovel. If you do this, you are literally a monster. They haven't actually also made TNT charges available in all campaigns, which is a strange thing, to be honest, considering they're making everything else available in all campaigns.
All I can do is pour a couple monster and calm the f down. I'll try, but no guarantee.
Machine gun nests are also now more accurate to each faction, which is another good addition, though it kind of looks like imbalances are going to start being a thing. I mean, think about it. You'd so much rather have an MG34 than a Maxim MG with an armor shield, surely. Anti-tank guns are also now movable, which means Enlightened Enlisted is going to be over the moon with that. And then there's this default control setting switch for weapon firing mode, but I thought it was always the H key. Am I stupid? Or was I just fat fingering something the whole time? I don't even know. Flamethrowers now also look a bit more authentic, which is another nice change. Then there's a bunch of new vehicles, and I'll be honest, I don't play Enlisted for its vehicles. I play Enlisted for its infantry combat. The way I see it, if you like vehicles, then maybe War Thunder is more your thing. So yeah, I'm basically admitting my World War II vehicle knowledge is lacking, albeit recently I did go to the RAF Museum in London, so I did actually learn a lot about the World War II aircraft scene, and took pictures such as this monstrosity. That being said, the big things that stand out to me are the new iconic T-34s, a stronger and more powerful IS-2 tank, and the thing everyone wants to grind for, the Tiger II. Now I know some of the orders you unlock these tanks in the campaign trees are puzzling, but at least you get them, right? But I will admit the new camouflages and decals are pretty cool, alongside a bunch of new authentic features for specific vehicles to make them just a bit more immersive really. But then this last thing really made me think, why would you ever want to exit a plane alone? Why is this a new feature? I mean, in most planes you are alone, but for the ones where you do have a rear gunner, you just leave that guy in the plane for his guaranteed death? Sacrificing him for the greater good of his nation, or just sacrificing him because you literally can't be bothered to save him? That's so bad-mannered.
And as soon as someone does it, you know where they live, you know where they are, bang, see you later, you go in prison. You go in prison. And you're getting named and shamed.
There are also many new game mechanics. The AI soldier change means that silenced weapons now actually have a little buff, albeit very small. The new military rank system I spoke about in more detail in other videos is going to be interesting, at least. I wonder whether it will actually prevent players from leaving games, but I guess we'll see. It would also be a good idea to note how many soldiers you need to capture points at maximum speed. 4, which can just be yourself and 3 of your AI soldiers. I didn't actually know this before. The more you know, I guess. Grenades now also can't be avoided by switching soldier after throwing it, which is a good change, albeit it's just made explosions even more annoying. This one though, am I dumb? I have no idea what this even means. The construction visualization when placing an engineer building is now displayed in the realistic difficulty mode in user missions. I mean, what? Why don't I understand this? Can I just not English anymore? I mean, if someone actually knows whether this is legible, then tell me, because I've read this thing about 10 times and I still don't understand it. Am I stupid?
Yes, I am.
But finally, we get to the best update I've ever seen in the game. Scratch the mods and mission editor. We can swim at a 45-degree angle now. Get in! Oh, and finally, ammo boxes are now destroyable. And I always wondered previously why they were more invincible than Tiger tanks, when they are literally made out of paper and wood, but you know, dark flow physics. Many interface improvements are also very welcome, though the one for TNT charges are just going to cause PTSD. I mean, in Stalingrad, I only used them to put on top of tanks, then run away and press the lever to make it go kaboom. But imagine being in that tank, seeing the icon that a TNT charge has been placed on you, and knowing that there is literally nothing you can do to shake it off, so you are guaranteed death. I mean, that's brutal, dude.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the f*** is that?
But I mean, all of these changes are welcome, and it's amazing to see improvements in quality of life areas, even if one does actually cause nightmares, and even if they use poor grammar. I mean, really, Darkflow? Speeded? You mean sped up? That's poor from you guys, come on. Other things that clearly did not fit any other category have just been put under improvements. Man, I almost feel bad for the things under here. Mostly it's just under the radar authentic improvements for each faction, which are great, but some other quality of life things too, like not marking allied structures like barbed wire. My god, it was annoying trying to mark enemies looking through barbed wire. I'm so glad that's fixed. Getting out of water should also now be easier, so I'm not stuck drowning in the middle of nowhere. They've even improved the visuals of some of the non-armoured land vehicles, so it's awesome to see a Ford finally get the recognition it deserves. I'm also glad you can't just shoot from tanks when underwater, because sometimes some of my teammates got stuck in rivers with tanks and basically transformed themselves into torpedo boat submarines, which scared the bloody life out of me when shots were just appearing out of water. Flak cannons are also buffed significantly, but now if more people use them, then they are likely to become more cancerous, sitting in the grey zone firing on poor old infantry. So I hope that really isn't the case. But do I trust the player base of Enlisted? No. that's for sure. Numerous of the other changes under fixed are also significant. I mean, to start with, pretty much once every 10 lives I had a dude who fell through the floor, so I do genuinely hope this is fixed as it states. It felt like they were standing on random quicksand areas of the map. Dude, it was insane. Plus, hopefully dead bodies won't shake randomly as they've been seen doing, looking like they are possessed. And wait, this was the thing? You could go invisible? Imagine, bro. It'll look like the machine gun is firing by itself. Talk about being possessed. And then the throwing grenade range soldier buff has been fixed slightly. Because my god, when I started playing the game like a year ago, I picked this buff and then kept horrifically missing the target with my grenades. But why are they removing puddles? Bro, if I want to go for a paddle in the heat of battle, then you better let me go for a paddle. And I don't know what any of these two changes mean, but I'm just going to assume that they're good changes. This is all not to say that there aren't some quite big downsides to this update. I've already mentioned a few throughout this video, but in terms of others, to start with, the new stealthily introduced 5 seconds max for being in the grey zone is an atrocious change. They didn't tell anyone about it, so you die unbelievably quickly in that before you even realise it's a thing, and even if you miraculously get out of the grey zone before you die, your AI won't, and they'll kill themselves all off. Literally like survival of the fittest, dude. There were also other things which for some reason didn't make it into this update, like buffing all bolt-action rifles to be as powerful as they are in, say, Stalingrad. But they chose not to, for whatever reason. And it's also fair to say that some tank spawns are slightly strange. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure a tank is not supposed to go through there.
That's just totally wrong. It's just like wrong. It's just wrong.
There's probably many other things I could list off as well, but I'll probably forget many if I try to. So put it down in the comments if you've noticed something that, well, shouldn't be a thing. Last but not least, and I'm impressed if you've stuck around for this long, we have other mission improvements. Most of these aren't worth commenting on as, well, I can't be bothered anymore, and my voice is going dry, but what I can be bothered for is to shout out my guy Loop23, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, for being a loyal subscriber and fan of my channel and the videos. It means so much to hear this, so thank you all. Just in case this video was too long for you to watch, well, in summary, many of the changes have really improved the game of Enlisted. After playing a few games, I can definitely say they run smoother, there's more things to explore and to use, more ways to feel immersed in the game, and also many under the radar quality of life changes, some of which they didn't even mention in the news release for the update. Like this, a change nickname button. I can finally use my official channel's name, MajorMcDonalds, as my IGN. Except, because I didn't know this was coming, I already made an alt with that name to steal it away from others, and there's no swap nickname feature. Ah, bollocks. But in summary, the changes have been fantastic for the game of Enlisted, and I don't think this is going too far out there to say this is the best update Enlisted has ever had. Whoa guys, I can't believe we're about to leave this video without liking it. It's actually really rude. Come on, be better. But nevertheless, it's been an absolute pleasure ranting at you today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.